Morbid Maniacs, it's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about the tale of Moonville, Ohio. The abandoned coal mining town of Moonville, Ohio was founded in 1856 when the Marietta and Cincinnati Railroad ran through the area's woods. The town at the time was said to be home to over 100 miners and their families. The railroad was founded in the mid-19th century, and it was used to carry coal, iron, and clay through the region. The 8-mile stretch of tracks which ran through Moonville were said to be very isolated. The tunnel which covered these railroad tracks was said to be very narrow, and whenever a train would run through there, this entire tunnel would shake. And if you just so happened to be walking along the tracks in this tunnel and you were caught by an oncoming train, the force from the train would actually pull you under. There were also said to be very hazardous trestles, and one was actually over an area known as Raccoon Creek, which is only 50 yards from the tunnel. The railroad workers would state that the area was the most desolate 8 miles of track between Parkersburg, West Virginia and St. Louis. They hated this area as trains would just seemingly appear out of nowhere. The tunnel also ran along a bridge which was placed over top of it. This area was known to be a very accident-prone place, and a lot of accidents and numerous deaths occurred here. By the turn of the century, the coal mines were closed, and the last family in town had actually left in 1947. And it was by this time that the town had actually outgrew itself. By this time, the town itself had grew abandoned. By the 1960s, all of the buildings were gone. And with the town long gone, the train traffic continued to increase. Trains would continue running on these tracks until they were pulled in 1988. In addition to the accidents and conditions, the town of Moonville is said to be very haunted. Over 21 people were said to have been killed on or around the tracks. Some of these spirits which are known to haunt the tracks are the engineer. So the engineer is said to be the spirit of a man by the name of Theodore Lawhead, who was an engineer of the M&C Railroad Company. He is said to have haunted the tracks ever since he had a head-on collision with another train in the 1880s. Visitors have claimed to see a ghostly figure carrying a lantern while walking alongside the track and through the tunnel. There is also a spirit which is known to be the brakeman, and the brakeman is said to be the spirit of a young man who was very drunk and was also a brakeman for the trains that ran through. He had supposedly drank too much one night and fell off the train to his death. Then there is the Lavender Lady. People have also claimed to have seen a thin elderly lady walking alongside the tracks late at night. Shortly upon seeing her, the scent of lavender fills the air. This spirit is said to be the ghost of a woman by the name of Mary Shea, who was killed along the tracks at the far end of the tunnel. Then there is the bully. The bully is said to be the spirit of a man by the name of Baldy Keaton. Baldy was a resident of Moonville, and he loved to fight when he got drunk. One of his tactics was actually to bear hug his opponents. One night, while Baldy was at the saloon, he decided to fight, and the men had kicked him out. Later on, he was found dead on these tracks. Many believe that it was murder. Legend states that Baldy will stand above the tunnel watching approaching visitors. He is also known to throw pebbles. Mothers would use the tail of Baldy to keep their children from staying out at night, as the bully would get them. The town would also work with a nearby furnace by the name of the Hope Furnace, which was said to be haunted by a watchman. This watchman had supposedly stumbled into a vat of molten iron. Frequently, visitors will often see a bright light, which is said to be the lantern of the night watchman. The light is said to dance around the chimney and over thin air where buildings once existed. It will also approach cars, which stop and investigate. The town also has its own cemetery. The Moonville Cemetery is on the hillside past the Iron Bridge. There are 13 known graves which remain within the cemetery. Although vandals and falling trees have left their mark, and some of the headstones actually are no longer able to be read. Some have only left behind indentations in the soil from where they used to be. Visitors of the Moonville Tunnel and town have captured photographs of paranormal forms which were not visible to the naked eye. Today in Moonville, there is a Halloween festival which is known as Midnight at Moonville, which is located on the old railroad bed and in the tunnel. And there are also plans for a rail trail in the works. So there you guys have it. There was the tale of the Moonville Tunnel. There was so much I was finding on this area. I'm sure I didn't cover all of it, but this is definitely a creepy spot, and I may even visit there because Ohio's not that far from me if I can find it, because I also was reading that it's very hard to find from the area that it's in, because it's kind of like hidden away within the woods. But what do you guys think? Would you ever visit the Moonville Tunnel and test out these legends for yourself? I know I sure would. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become a morbid maniac. And be sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And if you were interested, my OnlyFans account is always in the description box below, so you can go check that out. I post daily sexy content on there. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.